Hello folks and welcome to another Wise Gamer video. In this video I'm going to be talking about voice programs that comes in very handy for our computer needs and our gaming needs. When we're hanging out with more than ourselves, with other people and things like that, communication is a big plus when it comes to anything in our life, right? So I'm just going to go over a few of the most popular programs, and then I'm going to bring up a newer program that I've just found out about maybe a couple of weeks ago that I understand that's been out for maybe about several months or so, but they improved on it as time went on. So let's get started first with the most popular one that I used the first time I started using voice programs. This was the first one I've ever used. It was called Ventrilo. Well, it's still called Ventrilo also. Now, I know that this was probably one that we all used, especially when we started playing popular games like World of Warcraft together. Because as we know, we're all scattered throughout the world, and this is one tool that we use to bring everybody together so we could communicate to do raids and BGs and PvP or whatnot, or just hang out and chat for a while, you know. Now, Ventrilo is a good program. It's more of a beta type version of a program. It's not polished and fancy looking like a lot of the newer ones that are out today. And basically, as we know, you do need somebody who's going to host this for your channel to be up 24/7. So in other words, if you don't have somebody who can host it 24/7, that means keeping their computer system on at all times. Anytime they shut down their system, whoever owns that channel, nobody else will have access to that channel, of course, once that person's computer system is down. So that's a big downside about programs like this one right here. Okay, so, but there is, for a fee, per month, you could pay like $15, $19 per month. They do supply a third party companies that host these voice programs for you. So it makes it where that person that actually owns the Ventrilo channel can log off or whatnot, but the Ventrilo still stays up, so other people in their guilds or groups of people that they communicate with on a daily, weekly basis can still access this and communicate without the main host always being there. Now, Ventrilo also has a lot of different setups. One thing about Ventrilo, when you go into setup, is usually when you open this screen up, it makes it where you can't communicate once you open up this screen. That's a little bit of an annoying downfall to me, because sometimes you want to kind of help somebody go through the settings or whatnot, and as soon as you open up this screen, it seems like it makes it where you go mute and they can't hear you and you can't hear them. Okay, but again, this is one of the first programs that ever came out, and it doesn't have the features that a lot of the newer programs now has also, and it also has a lot of things in this tool that you could use, like even chats and stuff like that, but it's a little harder to navigate it than it is a lot of the more modern programs, and to find where those settings or those tools are. So Ventrilo is a good program. What's nice about it is I think people are just used to it and things like that, and you can make it where it's either push to talk, or you can make it where it's always wide open. Okay, but when you make this wide open, the threshold in it is pretty difficult. You almost got to yell to open it up where other people can hear you, but there's probably settings in here that you could use to minimize that. So Ventrilo was the first program I ever used. Then, of course, we have the ever popular Skype. I've been using that word a lot in my last couple of videos, ever popular. But anyways, Skype is another voice program which is probably the most popular because it's not just for gamers. Ventrilo, it seems like it's aimed more towards gamers. Maybe companies use it and stuff like that, but as far as I know, any company I've worked with, or anybody, game related, friend relations, anything like that, Skype seems to be the most popular. And it's a little more fancier looking, as we can see, than the Ventrilo. Okay, there's a lot of options in here. The only downfall I have about this program right here is that it's not always, you can't actually build a channel as far as I know of. So in other words, you have to be invited each time to join those people. So you have to be able to get in touch with those people somehow, either by chatting to them through the game if they happen to be on, and say, hey, can you invite me into your voice group, and things like that. With Ventrilo, you're able to just barge into your room at any time without being asked and things like that. But with this one, you always have to be invited to join a conference, and it also has a chat feature too, and pictures and things like that that you can share, and it also has a neat share screen. So if somebody's having a difficult time with their computer system, and they just want to show you something, they could share their screen of their desktop and show you exactly what's up, and you could help them with that or whatnot, or share pictures, look at pictures that way, websites and stuff like that through somebody else's actual computer system. So Skype is a nice thing, and what I like about it too is that it's got the phone feature where you can call certain numbers for free, and then they have a subscription plan if you want to go beyond calling free numbers. So Skype is a program I know many people know about, and I'm not really going to get too much deeper into this because you guys probably know more about it than I do. Okay, so Skype is another great voice communication program. Teamspeak. Teamspeak is probably, I'm not sure when it came out, but I think it's a little bit newer than Ventrilo is. Or maybe they came out around the same time. But Teamspeak is a good program. It's free. And it pretty much works like Ventrilo. Of course, the setup and the looks of it is totally different than Ventrilo, but it basically works the same way. And with this one too, you need a hosting program if you still want that 24/7 access to keep your guild channel up at all times, so that the host doesn't always have to be there. The same deal with Ventrilo. So this is another good option, as long as you have a host that can keep that channel up 24/7. Okay, now we have the Curse Voice program, put out by the same people that do Curse add-ons. Okay, they came out with their own voice program, and this one is still fairly new. I think this one only came out maybe a year or 2 years ago. And as we could see, it's much more modern and good looking than Ventrilo and Teamspeak is. It's more la-di-da. It's got it's got more of those options, and you could sync it up to the actual game that you're playing, like World of Warcraft, Minecraft, games like that. You could sync it up to those very popular games, and it actually shows the tune that you're logging in on and logging off of and things like that. So it copies the image of the character that you're playing in that game most of the times. You can't, as far as I know, you can't upload a self image in this program. Maybe you can, but I notice most people here, they're using an image that has something to do with their character in the game that they're playing. Now this one also has a chat feature too, but this one kind of works like Skype, where you have to be invited into the conference each time. You can build a link for a channel, but it's not really an actual channel like Ventrilo holds or Teamspeak. So, this is a great program. This is the one we use right now when we do RBGs in our guild, because we do mainly PvP right now. And this is what we use once a week to communicate with our RBG team when we're doing that. The thing about this program, though, I swear, every time you go to turn it on, it's got an update. So, if you're running late and things like that, for a guild run and stuff like that, always make sure that you got a couple of minutes to spare when you go to turn this on, because it's probably going to have an update. So this one, again, is Curse, and it's a great little program. Okay, here's the newest one. This one is called Discord. I think I'm saying that right. Discord, something like that. Discord. Discord. Okay. This is probably the newest one out of them all. And it's a great voice program. And I'm going to tell you why. This is one program that you could actually make a private room or a channel just like you can in Ventrilo and some of the other applications like Teamspeak. You could actually make an actual channel in here for your guild or your group or whatever you want to use it for, right? And you could have numerous channels. You can make numerous channels in this. It's got a chat feature, as you could see here when we were trying to still figure this thing out. Okay, and you could mark each room just like you can in Ventrilo and things like that. And you could do a lot of different things in this program, and it's really becoming more and more popular as time goes on now. I think it's only been out less than a year. I think it's been out maybe like several months or something like that, you know. So this is a good program, and here's the biggest plus of this program. It's free for hosting. You know, you could make a channel in here, and you can make 5, 10 administrators if you want of that channel. They all pretty much have the same power, but the person that actually started this channel, it still has a little more tools than what the other administrators could have. Okay, but he doesn't need to be on all the time. It runs pretty much on its own server, and that's the greatest thing about it. So you can make your own channel in here for like your guild and your game or whatnot, and you could just come in and out of here as much as you please, you know, and there's no fee so far for this service. So I think that this one's going to become one of the most popular ones used by a lot of gamers once they find out about this program and that it's free. You know, that you can set up the channels and you don't have to pay a hosting company to keep it running for you 24/7. It just kind of runs on its own platform. Okay, so this one is a big 2 thumbs up. And again, this one is called Discord. Discord, I think. As we could see, there's a good amount of them out there, and you just got to find which one works best for you. You know, of course, Skype is probably, again, the most popular for the whole universe as far as all kinds of segments of communication goes, between either gaming, business needs, just hanging out with your buddies, you know, and things like that. But as far as overall gaming and things, I think Discord is really going to take off. I think that they got a really fantastic deal going on there, and the big thing with that is that it's free hosting right now. So keep that in mind. So again, guys, thanks again for watching Wise Gamer. I know I didn't go into too much detail about each program, but I still am not a master with each program myself, because as soon as I end up getting used to one of these voice programs, a new one comes up and we end up trying that one. So, but again, there's plenty of information out there on Google if you need to know information about these tools. And again, we'll catch you in the near future. You have a good night. Take care.